We are live tonight. Tonight we are live. And tonight we're going to talk about something that just happened to me. This is amazing. I was checking my account today and I almost lost everything. I received the account lock Amazon scam. I got a notice saying, hey, Amazon is taking money out of your account. I said, no, impossible. Not to me, not to me, but it does. It does happen. It does happen. They took money from my account today. It was not a lot, so I was able to go into the bank and lock the account and basically go ahead and do what I needed to do. But I wanted to kind of warn everyone about it because it is happening. It is live. Amazon issued a warning today regarding this search and phishing and impersonation attack targeting users. It often involve fake calls, fake email, fake text about a fake order or account suspension or Prime membership issue. Attack it, aim to steal login data, MFA or multi-factor authentication code, or payment information. This is critical. We receive. I don't even answer my phone anymore. It's kind of hard to read email unless you know where it's coming from, because you get so much things out there. You get things that looks legitimate, but they're not. It's like yesterday, I got one that says, "Click here to sign for a payment." Obviously, I didn't do that, but as I'm checking my account, which is a different company, as I'm checking my account, I said, "Wait a minute." I haven't bought anything from Amazon in quite a while, but yeah, I had 2 or 3 payments. My wife, the same thing, right? So they aim to steal your login credential, multi-factor authentication, and payment information. And this is the key. They're urging you to purchase a gift card. Never purchase a gift card online. Well, you can purchase online if you know that it's legitimate. But you have to use the official Amazon channel, official Amazon web page. Otherwise, you could be scammed. At the end of the day, what is a phishing attack? Phishing is spelled Phishing. Sounds like fishing. It's the same different spelling. So phishing is a type of cyber attack where someone pretends to be a trusted source, like, for example, Amazon, like some of the banks that we're going to talk about, like any bank, like a company, like a service. And what's the key? The key is they want to trick you into giving them information that is sensitive. What is sensitive? Your password, your credit card number, or your personal information. Man, they knock on doors to try to get that information. It's really incredible. Someone was saying, "Hey, you have a problem. Give me your phone number or this or that." I said, "No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that." So basically, what happens? So mostly you see, for me, I get mostly email. I get tons of email. I get tons of text messages directing me to go to a website. Go to this website to do something, and you go to it. Now here in YouTube, we get a lot of that stuff, right? Because basically we are always searching for a way to get our job done without getting paying a lot of money. So we get a lot of offers that are free, so-called free. If you get anything like that, report it to YouTube, right? But in reality, you have to be very careful out there as to what you do. Another thing that I'm noticing, some company are actually, you sign for a free account before you know you're getting a bill from them. You have to cancel those accounts immediately to ensure you don't get any extra payment, and then you have to dispute it, right? So let's look at what is an attack. So let's see if I could give you an example. I'll show you how one is done. I think this is what I got here. So if you see to my left here, I don't know, make it bigger. To my left here, I have a fake phishing scam where they ask you to enter the password, right? And basically, and if you look at the email, right, it says security mail.amz.status.com. That is not an official Amazon.com email address, but everything looks the same, right? The logo looks great. The box where you enter the data looks absolutely perfect, right? But that's why you always have to look at the URL, if at all possible, which is right here where it says Amazon, blah blah blah, right? You see that in there. I don't know if you could read it or not, but you should be able to see it on the thing in there. So that's one way to know for sure that you got that. You might get one also from that's Amazon as well. Let's see here. Which one is this one? You might get one from PayPal. It's another one that's being hit pretty good lately. You know, so they send you these fake messages that look legitimate, right? But it's certainly not legitimate, right? So you have to be very careful when it comes to that. And like I said, this is not a like a good to know. It's something that happened to me today. I mean, I was checking my account today and I said like, whoa, what is this? And then my wife checked her account. It's small dollar, like $10, $15. But what happens is you get a small dollar. If you don't challenge it, what happens is one day you're gonna get hit by a big item that they're gonna buy. So they do a couple of small purchases to test to see if they could do it. And if you don't catch it, they might do a big purchase on that, right? So the account might say, hey, your account is locked. Enter your password. Don't do it. Go to the official Amazon website or to your app if you have one and do any transaction that you can in there. Don't click on any link that you get as part of a text message or as part of an email unless you are expecting it, right? If asked to click on the link and log in, but the link leads to a fake website, like for example, if you were to click on this right here, it will not take you to Amazon. It will take you someplace else. And the way you know is you look at the URL, you look at the to address, right, where it came from. It came from security@mail.amz-status.com. It looks kind of official, almost like AMZ. Is that Amazon? Well, it is not Amazon. It's something else. So basically, that's what you're looking at. That's what you're faced with day in and day out. So you have to be very, very careful with that, right? So another one that you might see is, besides the one that I created, you get a text message pretending to be from Amazon saying there is a problem with your order. Anytime there's urgency, anytime there is a problem with your order, there could be a problem with your order, but you have to go to, if you order something, right, you have to go through Amazon and ask them directly through their website or through their app what's going on. Do not rely on a text message that come to you, right? Because those text messages would include links asking you to enter your payment detail, which are then captured by the scammer, right? So you don't want that. So you have to be careful. You know, I know tonight, usually I have other topics that I talk about, but tonight I had to stop because one of the things that I wanted to be sure I put out there is information about scam, information about things that are going on, people pretending to be someone else. Cybersecurity is one of our sub niches. And for that reason, I wanted to be sure I get this thing out tonight. Warning signs and protection tips, okay? No payment over the phone. Amazon says they never ask for payment information or gift card over the phone or by mail. They just don't do it. That's what they advertise that they don't do. So if they say they don't take payment over the phone, that means you should not give payment over the phone. You should be able to enter that data right into the website, okay? Verify information independently, right? That's the next protection tip, right? So if you get a text that says, hey, your account's to be locked, okay? Don't click on anything there. Go to the Amazon website or go to PayPal or go to your bank, anywhere that the message came from, and verify directly with the legitimate website, okay? So do not click on any links that comes with it. Go directly to the bank app, directly to Amazon through the app or through the website. Now, if you don't have this, you need to get it as soon as possible. It's called a two-factor authentication, or 2FA, to secure your account. What happens on that is, like, that was another warning that I got. I got a warning that says, hey, you Amazon, somebody attempted to log into Amazon through my phone. I said, well, I haven't logged in there. So right away, I knew there was a problem. So I started warning there, changed my password. That's something you got to do. Change your password and do all that stuff, because if you don't change it, I mean, someone is making an attempt, has some parts of your credential, like your email address or your name, and they're attempting to go through and go into your account so they could do orders and stuff like that, right? Now, the biggest one of the biggest protection tip and warning sign is when they say, we have an urgent request. Be cautious of messages claiming you must act immediately to avoid suspension. You know, my philosophy on that is, well, let it get suspended. I'll go back in and I'll fix it once I know there's an issue. Obviously, there are some things you don't want. Like, for example, we had to cancel our credit cards, right? One of credit cards, and then had some payments that were linked to it. And then what happened? The next day, I got a message that said, "Hey, your payment was not made because it didn't go through." Now, I knew for a fact that I had a payment coming out that day. So what did I do? It was a telephone bill. I went to the telephone company, I sat with them, and I paid them off. I said, "Look, this is what's going on," and I took care of that. So it's going to take extra time. It's going to take extra steps for you to take care of your account while you go through this thing. But if you don't, it's going to get ugly, okay? So beware of urgent requests. Now, another thing is, you want to report scam as quickly as you can. You go report scam to your vendors that you work with, report scam to your bank, especially if it was a Amazon or PayPal. Inform them as quickly as possible, hey, you have a problem, and then dispute the charges, right? You may be successful, and we were successful in some cases. In other cases, there are companies that are not success that would take forever to get your money. We have a charge from a bicycle company that we never dealt with, that we successfully disputed it, and then a year later, the same charge come right back into our account, so I had to dispute it again. So it's a constant battle. It's a constant effort to maintain your account clean. Now, also, we had to go to the bank. We went to the bank personally and talked to the bank manager, and then we called the helpline. Then we called the suspicious activity line, and basically we had to spend almost 2 or 3 hours letting them know what was going on. So that's important, because obviously that's where you do all your transactions to pay your bills. I wish there was a better way. Now, another trick that I learned, which I don't know if you can implement or not, if you have a bank card, let's say right now, right? A blank card, right? So let's say that you pay a bill, right? So you want to put a stop on, or a hold, actually. Place a hold. Most cards allow you to place a hold on your card, right? When you're not using it, right? So what does that mean? If somebody try to charge your card, basically what happens is they won't be able to do it, right? It will bounce off because they know your account is being halted. Now that does create some problem because sometimes you are the legitimate person that's doing that. For 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a message from the bank saying, "Hey, somebody's charging your card. What's going on?" And then you have to kind of reactivate it. You go back and you activate it for that day, and you make the charges that are going on. So we have been trying to do that, but it's kind of hard because we got bills coming in and out all the time. And if you have a lot of activity in your card, it makes it very difficult. But that is one way that some of my subscribers have been able to prevent the card from being charged on the. So if you can, you have a card, just call it in. Hey, place it on hold, and then when you need to use it, take it out, get on the phone. It's an extra step, but it could save you. Remember that if you don't do that and they charge your card, it's going to take you days, weeks, sometimes even longer to get your account back in order. Right now, it's going to take me a while because it looks like multiple of my accounts got hit. So it's going to take a while for me to fix that problem. Now, especially attackers are exploiting the holiday shopping season. It's gonna be increased phishing expedition. Let's use that word, phishing expedition. They're gonna go fishing more often, meaning more emails, more text messages, more phone calls, right? More electronic activity designed to trick you. And let me tell you, they are very good because they're varying their tactics all the time. I have a program that kind of tests me, send me messages, and I go and I look at it and when it really looks legitimate. And if I am busy and I'm kind of moving fast and I don't think twice and I click on it, it will tell me, nope, you got scam, right? So I don't know if you guys could join any kind of program that will allow you to be tested or teach you more like that. But that's one way to know that practice make perfect. And I practice almost every week. I get a fake message. I have to be able to disseminate the fake messages from the real messages, right? So when I get a phone call, I don't know who the number is. Might as well not call me because I'm not going to be able to answer it. When I get an email that I'm not expecting, I'm not going to answer that. When I get an email that looks funny, I'm not going to answer that either. So, what are some of the quick ways for spotting phishing quickly? It comes down to noticing a few common red flags. The red flags. What are the red flags that we could look at, that we could be aware of? Right? They do follow a somewhat predictable patterns, but I tell you this: the predictability is that they are unpredictable because they change their tactic all the time. But there are a few things that basically they do have in common. I'm gonna just read them out to you one by one, and then I'm gonna go back and provide you some detail. Urgency or fear tactics. That's the one of the number one. Suspicious link, like I showed you earlier. Strange sender address. That's another one. Request for sensitive information. Poor grammar or odd formatting. Unexpected attachment or messages. Generic greeting. Quick rule of thumbs. If something feels off, don't click anything. Go directly to the official website or application and check from there, right? So let's take it one at a time right now to see what we can learn. Urgency and fear, right? It's the first one. So if they say your account's to be like it's going to be locked, act now, right? Let me see what this one's saying. We have detected unusual activity to secure your account. You click below and log in immediately, right? Immediately, right? So that's fear tactic. Oh, my account is is in problem. I got to log in and figure out what's going on. So that's the urgency. That's the one where the urgency is I got to do it now, and then the fear tactic that they actually employ with that. So this one is a perfect example of both, right? We detect unusual activity, curiosity. To secure your account, click below, okay, and log in immediately. Urgency, right? Account being compromised. So you see what's going on there. The next one is suspicious link. We're saying hover over the link, don't click it. If the URL looks weird, misspelled, or unrelated to the company, it's a big red flag. Okay. Again, let's look at the same item and see what it looks like. I'm quite sure the other one are the same, but this is the one that we have in here, so we have to use it, right? So look at this. Oh, Amazon security at mail.amz. AMZ is not Amazon, right? So everything could be okay. Security could be okay. Mail dot, right? Or that could be okay. But then Amazon/status.com is not part of the URL. It's not part of the URL. It's not part of the email that normally you get from Amazon. So that's what we mean when we say suspicious link. The URL that looks weird or misspelled, right? So that one is a perfect example of that message, right? Perfect example of that. What's the next one? A strange sender address. An email might look official, but the sender could be something like blah blah blah. Amazon support at Amazon with a zero.com. Right. So, like for example, going back to the same example here, right? Instead of security, they could say support. Instead of saying mail, they could have like a 2L. Instead of an I, they have an L and L. So they usually change a few words to kind of, all you have to change is one word to be able to make it look somewhat official. So basically, look, the one that is sending the information, and look at not only it says Amazon security, look at the actual email address or the actual URL. Now, if you do get a warning like this, this message may not have been sent by Amazon. If you get that from your email provider, that's another clue right there. I mean, it's like boom, right on your face. But people will miss it because you are in a hurry. You want to move forward. You want to get things moving quickly, right? But then basically you just end up making a mistake, right? And that's what they're counting on. Request for sensitive information, right? Legitimate organization won't ask for password. They won't ask you for your full credit card number or verification code through email or text. They just won't do it, right? They know the situation with that, right? So in here they're saying verify your account, right? What are they asking you for? Your account data, your username, and your password, and some of the data. And then they'll ask you for your two-factor authentication. They send you like a fake one, so you kind of click on it. So they're asking for account information in this particular case. They could ask for something else that's different. Okay, poor grammar or odd formatting. That's kind of a little bit old. Still, you could see it in some of the unsophisticated scam. But the more sophisticated scam, though, they look pretty legit to me. And basically, they have the right symbols, the right colors. They have everything that looks legit, but it's fake, right? So that one is still happening, but it's not going to happen that frequently, right? But I've seen it less and less with programming or ad formatting. It's something that you could spot right away. But many messages contain awkward wording, spelling errors, and unusual layout. Now, if, for example, the you go to PayPal quite frequently and the account information looks different than what you normally see, that may be a warning, a red flag for you to take a look and say, that looks different than when I went there yesterday or earlier today. So what's going on? So it does happen. Be aware of it. Be able to spot that, right? So the other one is this unexpected attachment or messages. If you were not expecting something like an invoice, a receipt, or a security alert, be cautious. And I had an app in Florida about the weather, and that they were always getting alert and stuff like that through that. And also that there were so many fake messages and information attached to that I end up deleting the application because of that. So if you have to be either weather alert, right, or receipt or invoices. Any attachment, do not click on any attachment. Do not download, especially do not download any attachment because they will contain other type of malware that's going to get into your computer and it's going to allow them to steal information from you, right? The next one is a little simple, but it's still happening and it doesn't mean anything sometimes. You get an email that says, "Dear customer," instead of your name, can be a clue, although not always, that letter comes from someone that's trying to scam you. If they don't know your name, they're either trying to sell you something, which you don't want, or they're trying to get data from you, which you don't want to give to them. So when you send them a generic greeting, it's a red flag that you should be aware of, right? So what's a quick rule of thumb? If something feels off, don't click on anything. Go directly to the website or application, right? That's what you need to do. You find out pretty quickly that the information that you might be clicking on is not correct and it's basically fake. So I hope you guys, this is not my regular broadcast, and I may come back later on and do some more discussion with you all. But I want to let you know because I almost lost everything by this scam called the account lock Amazon scam. Basically, I didn't click on anything. Even though I didn't click on anything, they still were able to steal some of my money. They were still able to get some of my card compromised. And as you know, as I reported in a previous video, millions of accounts were stolen recently, right? So you don't know who actually has your data right now. So you have to be very careful on that. And Amazon was clearly this time, this is a warning, it's a surge on phishing and impersonation attack. You're getting fake calls, you're getting fake emails, and you're getting fake texts. So that being said, never give that information over the phone to anyone, especially your multi-factor authentication code. And doesn't matter how urgent the call is, how official it sounds, don't give your data over the phone to anyone, or via email, especially, or via text, right? Because as you know, they're trying to pretend to be a trusted source. They're trying to pretend to be the bank. They're trying to pretend to be the company that providing you the service, like your phone services, your water services that you kind of want. And they're just trying to get your sensitive information. Don't give your password, your credit card information. I know I'm being repetitious. I'm trying to do a summary right now of what I just said. So I gave you a couple of examples so that in case you see this kind of information. This is from Amazon. You have another one here again from PayPal, right? And the third one I believe is PayPal as well. That's right here. And this is Amazon. And this is PayPal. Okay. So you have several examples that I provided for you to do that. And I'm going to try to publish a video tonight about it so that in the event that you kind of miss the information that I've conveyed to you here, you should be able to pick it up on the video that I'm going to put together tonight. So that being said, I'd like to thank you all for being here tonight.